Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a story that starts with something we all know, a birthday party. You know, a celebration of life. But this one ends in an absolutely horrific crime scene. We're going to unpack how a simple birthday cake, a symbol of joy, right? How it became the trigger for a triple murder in Uttar Pradesh.
3. That's how many young men were shot and killed. And the trigger for all of it? An argument that started, of all things, over a piece of birthday cake. Just incredible. So you have to ask, right? How on earth does a simple party escalate into a triple murder? Okay, let's break down the timeline of that tragic night step by step.
All right, so the night was Saturday, April 25th, 2026. And it started out just like any other birthday party, you know? The setting was a local gym, the RJS fitness gym, and friends were all there to celebrate a guy named Jitu Saini, a gym trainer.
And among the guests were 3 relatives, Amardeep, Manish, and Akash Saini. They were all part of the same family. Now, these guys were regulars at the gym. They knew the host pretty well. They were just there expecting a normal, fun evening. They had no idea it would end in tragedy.
Okay, so the entire night just pivots on this one single moment, something that seems totally harmless. It's a party tradition for a lot of people, but in this case, it was the thing that ignited a deadly rage. The police actually called it a trivial disagreement. I mean, think about it. A playful gesture, smearing some cake, and it's met with just unexpected hostility. Something that should have been a laugh, you know? It just spiraled, and fast, into a furious verbal fight.
But here's where things take a really dark turn. What happened next suggests this was way more than just an argument that got out of hand. The response? Well, it transformed a simple party dispute into a coordinated and very deadly attack.
Now this is what's so telling, the sequence of events here. Look, Jitu didn't just grab a weapon in the heat of the moment. No, he left the gym furious. He went and gathered reinforcements, and then he came back about an hour later. And get this, witnesses said the group was armed with as many as 7 or 8 guns. They opened fire, and all 3 men were killed with gunshots to the head. You can see why the victims' families argue this points directly to premeditation. It's not spontaneous.
And before taking off, the attackers allegedly made a very calculated move to cover their tracks. They actually ripped out the gym's CCTV recording device. I mean, that's a pretty clear attempt to erase any video evidence of what they'd just done, right?
So in the aftermath, as you can imagine, the crime scene was just swarming with police. Senior officials showed up, and a massive manhunt was launched almost immediately to find the people responsible for this.
Right away, the police formed 6 special teams to track down the 7 people named in the initial report. They did manage to arrest 3 suspects, but the main accused, the birthday boy himself, Jitu Saini, is currently still at large. And this brings us to the big, really unsettling question, doesn't it? Could smearing cake on someone's face, no matter how heated the argument got, could that really be the only reason for a premeditated triple murder? The police are thinking there has to be more to it. So now investigators are peeling back the layers here. They're looking at a bunch of different factors that might have combined to create such an unbelievably extreme and violent escalation.
So here's the crucial point. It seems like the cake incident was the spark, right? But pre-existing tensions might have been the fuel just waiting for a flame. For one thing, police found liquor bottles at the scene, which suggests alcohol could have played a part. But they're also digging a lot deeper. They're looking into things like a possible rivalry for local dominance and, this seems significant, reports of a long-standing property dispute between the 2 families over a local community center.
For the grieving families, well, this quote here really says it all. They're saying, look, coming back with multiple weapons, that's not a spontaneous argument. For them, it's undeniable proof of a planned execution. And it leaves all of us with a pretty haunting question. Was this really just a trivial dispute that turned deadly? Or was the birthday party just the chosen stage for a tragedy that was long in the making? It's a stark reminder, I think, that sometimes the most mundane arguments are just what's on the surface. And right beneath them, there can be much deeper, more dangerous conflicts just waiting for a reason to erupt.